Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to ATM Spellbound. Now today we're going to be heading into the Abyss once again. Before we go, I'm going to go ahead and toss this in here just to get our Curse of Vengeance off, because we're going to be using our Silk Touch pick some. And I do want to make sure and get that Curse of Vengeance off for now. We're going to be making, once we get this AIoT upgraded, which we're going to be speeding that process up here fairly soon. But once we get that fully upgraded, then we're going to be making a new AIoT that's unbreakable. Well, either that or maybe stick with the Silk Touch pick and make a Silk Touch unbreakable, like super pick. Just so that we have a pick for the blue skies that can deal with the mining speed debuff. But the Abyss mod now, it works a bit differently to get into it. If you recall before, we got the Lorans from the overworld and we made our portal and went. But now what we have to do is we actually have to sleep. Now, of course, in this pack, you can't go to sleep, but you can still get teleported. We may actually have to do it from the overworld. Let me just grab my bed, and we'll just pop into the overworld and see if we can get teleported from there. Okay, I have to hit leave bed. And it's going to take us into a dimension. Now, you may get a different dimension. I accidentally teleported into this dimension the other day, or into one of the dimensions. But we can gather up stuff from here. It's not super important right now. What we need is Lorans, and I don't think they can spawn in this one. I'm going to turn down the master volume just a little bit. I may have to edit the sound after the fact. Okay, so we get teleported out. And at this point, we can just pull up our bed and move it. That's the second dream. Like I said, if you're just starting and you sleep, you may get teleported to a different dimension. The first time, I'd already had it happen, and so don't get to show that on camera, but it's more of like a leafy dimension. But that's the second one that you can get teleported to. And then we're going to pop out to a fairly newer area. And we need to go find a plains or a forest. And we're going to be looking for a house. Not this one, but I'm just going to kill her. We're going to be looking for a house. And inside, there can be a radio that spawns. It's a mod-specific house, so it'll kind of stick out a little bit. And let's grab our Nature's Compass. See if we have any plains off in this direction by chance. We do have one 2,300 blocks off in this direction. So we'll head over here and see if we can find the house that we need. And this is the method that you're going to have to do to get your initial Lorans, because you can't find them in the overworld anymore. And all the Lorans that I had, you can see, have been removed. We still have some Loran energy, and we were able to keep certain things like our Darkstone and stuff, but most of our stuff is gone from that dimension. Not to mention our entire Guardian Arena is probably gone now, which is a little unfortunate, but I'll just rebuild it. It's whatever. Alright, so we're over in our plains area now, so hopefully we'll find a abyss, a house. Like this one. Right here. I'm going to set up a waystone. And I'm going to play around with it in a test world before I remove it. But I'm curious, we might be able to move this radio. But like I said, I'm going to make sure before I do it, though. But if we right-click this, we're going to get teleported. Oh, there was a new quest there. Sleeping to the tune of my own radio. Or the tune of my broken radio. But this is going to take us into an unknown dimension. But we're going to be looking for Loran flowers. They're pretty much all that spawns here, but you can see there is some mystical flowers. And we're going to go ahead and grab a bit of these while we're here. And out of curiosity, I need to make these shears unbreakable, but can we just shear these? Oh, we got teleported out. Let's pop back in. Not a big deal if you get teleported out. You just kind of have like a limited time that you can be in here. But let's pop over. We can't shear those. We can probably bag of yurting them though. And I'm assuming that we can't use Silk Touch on them. But let me try real quick. Nope, we can't use Silk Touch on them. So if we want to move them, we'll probably have to use Bag of Yarding. But that's fine. Okay, so now that we've got that, we're going to basically go through the same process where we get the unstable obsidian. And let's just step through and go set up our portal. And then once we get that set up, we're going to go ahead and make ourselves an Abyss Portal Activator. It keeps thinking that, I don't know. That quest I don't think really changed. Maybe it did, but we're going to go ahead and activate that, and we have our Abyss Portal. And then let me go ahead, because we're going to be flying a bit today. And we're going to want that. And let me grab this and this. And then we're just going to step through. And now we're in the Abyss mod. Now you'll notice it is a bit different. We do have some emerald ore here. We're going to take that. We'll go ahead and mark this. It's not like it actually matters. We're going to go ahead and set that as our home point. We've got some glacier ore. Go ahead and grab that. Some cavern crystal. Can't silk touch that, but it's all right. And we do have some cave moss here. I wonder, can I... Nope. And can't silk touch it. Okay. Iron ore, we don't care about that. Oh, we have a Roca right out the gate. Alright, well, let's see if we can maybe get up there to the Roca, perhaps. I feel like the music is insanely loud on here. And for that matter, I don't think changing the music setting actually impacts it. I think it's counting it as something else. Okay, we're up out of there. Let me dump all of this for now. And let's see if we can find the Roca. That's a lurker. And you will notice new mobs and new mob models today. Let's see, this is a blue jungle. This should be where our Roca is at. And looks like he does about no damage, plus he's chasing our duplicates around the whole time. So there we go. We already got ourselves a Roca horn. That's wonderful. And let's see, if we warp home, it gets rid of that. And then we can just warp back. We do have an Abyssasaur nearby. That's one of the new mini-bosses. We're going to pop over there and see if we can take that out. My one probe settings got messed up. There we go. Which I know right now there's a boss, but... okay, so let's see if we can find our Abyssasaur. Oh, and our Abyssasaur despawned. Hopefully we'll come across another one, though. We do have a crystal golem nearby, let's see, and 2 crystal golems, and an elder, and a Roca. Oh my gosh, the spawn chance on these is so much higher now. Like, so much higher. Of course, Roca... Oh, there's a crystal golem. Let's take it out. Which I know my Wayla covers that up, but I'm out of corners. But you can see we did get a crystal hand from that boss. Let's see if we can find this Roca. It's probably back... Well, there's a blue jungle right over here. So maybe with where he popped up at, because Roca's pretty much going to spawn in the blue jungle, so I'm hoping... There he is. We take no damage. I can literally just stand here and just tank it. Now at this point, so that we can stop having to pop in and out of the dimension, Let's take a look at the anti-infection juice. We're going to need rotten flesh, some somnium, some Loran. We're going to need a somnium infuser. That'll be fine, but what do we need for the somnium extractor? Cobblestone and Loran energy. Okay, we can do that. Let's go ahead and get that. So there's the somnium extractor. And then we're going to need some Loran pure energy and some Lorans. And we can make these with Inkarith gems, which I don't have any of those. I may need to go do a little bit of mining for that. We got another Roka. I can't pass them up. And just bear in mind, the Roka is always going to be around in blue jungle. Oh, these plants. The Roka is always going to be around in blue jungle, so just check around there. Oh, we've actually got a night altar here. We'll come back to that. Let me go ahead and just mark it, though. And let's see if we can find our Roka. But you don't want to let your infection, all this like green goop on the screen, you don't want to let this get out of hand. Just make sure, be mindful of that. If you need to, just warp home. Because having a home set actually makes the Abyss a bit easier, because normally the Abyss is about like popping in, doing a little bit, and then getting out for a bit. Just for a brief second. Until you get the anti-infusion made. Oh, I lost my Roka. Okay. Alright, let me warp home. We'll give this a second to get rid of that. And maybe we can find ourselves some Inkarith gems. I do have one Loran energy, though. And we might be able to get by on that. But since I did get that, I think, before the update, I'd like to go ahead and do this proper. Yeah, there is Inkarith ore. I wanted to double check, because there's so many different, like, gem ores in this that I forget which ones are actually have ores and which ones don't, because certain ones, of course, don't have an ore that corresponds to it. And we do have some Abyss crystals. We're going to grab these also. We got some Ignisite, Aberith ore. There's a Roka, but I'm so far down right now, and the spawn chance on the Roka seems so high now that I'm not going to worry about it. There we go. There is our Inkarith gem. Okay, so at this point, let's pop home. Let's get rid of this infection. And let's set us up. I'm going to set up a little proper room for this, but for right now, just so that it's easier to warp back and forth from home, we're going to set up our Somnium Extractor, and we can craft our Loran energies fairly easy now, just using a bunch of Lorans and those Inkarith gems. And then we're going to use some Lorans. Open this up. We throw our Loran energy into here and our Lorans into there, and you can see it's going to craft up a bunch of Somnium for us. Now, technically, I just had an idea. Can I... Will this work? So if we put a Loran energy here, let me take off my magnet ring for just a moment. We toss down our indestructible book. Please tell me this works. Can we make an indestructible Loran that just allows us to infinitely craft? Indestructible. Okay. But each one can craft a stack, so it's not so bad, you know, crafting Somnium, but this is actually going to make it, if this works, which it does, this makes it a whole lot easier. So we just have a single Loran energy that's indestructible. Awesome. So what Somnium does, for starters, it's our magic source. We can craft it into a bottle. Grab a few bottles here. We can craft it into bottles of Somnium, which what we can do is we can drink this, and it fills up our Somnium bar, which is this bar right here, which is what's used for kind of the rings and different little magic system that's starting to come together within the Abyss mod. So, like, for example, it uses 15% Somnium So in order to activate its effect for its duration, it's going to take 15% of your Somnium bar. Now, in addition, in order to make our anti-infection essence, we're going to need some rotten flesh and some Somnium. We're also going to need the Somnium infuser, which does take some test tubes. So 1 test tube head, 2 test tubes. Then we can get our Somnium infuser. Let's go ahead and grab that. We'll set that up like right here for now. And inside of this, we can put in our Somnium. It's not really going to take that much of it. And then to get our anti-infection essence, we might end up making a few of these so that we can fuel everything. But let's go ahead and throw in our Loran there. And we're going to need to go get some rotten flesh. I think I've gotten 1. So we're going to have to go hunting above ground for this. So let's just warp back home for right now. Oh, there's so many Rokas. Can I, by chance, just feign mind myself up out of here? Wait, let me throw back on my magnet at this point. I just can't ignore the Rokas. The call of the Rokas. Oh, I lost them. I went right over there and lost them. Let's go ahead and kill some of these infected zombies. See if we can grab ourselves some rotten flesh. Abyssal lions. Lots of new mobs, you'll notice. Within this dimension. Powered wolf. These are Versa whales. And we do have an Abyssasaur somewhere. These are going to be really, really cool, though, for decorating. Especially in our underground area. A lot of new things for decorating. This new update has added a lot of stuff. There we go. We killed him, though. We do have enough rotten flesh, but I want to see if I can find our Abyssasaur. I lost him. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Now, we do have a structure over here. We're going to check that out in just a moment. But let's go ahead and pop back home once more. We're going to take and throw in our rotten flesh like that. And we're going to get our very first anti-infection essence. Now, at this point, let's pop back. And we're going to head in to this structure here. We do have a scorpion spawner. There we go. Scorpion charms. We got our scorpion eyes, which of course, that quest right there, it's one of your big quests that this pack has you working towards. And it looks like you can find them down inside of this structure here. We did get some Incarith, bottle of Somnium, a purple bottle of Somnium, more Incarith, more bottles of Somnium, Soul Heart, Enchanted Golden Apples, Abyss Shurikens, and we got Artifact of Afterlife. You have 20 seconds to find your body after your death. If you find your body, you will come back. If you don't find him, you will die. So apparently if we die, then it'll spawn us just somewhere around our body and we have to go find it. That's kind of cool. I don't foresee us dying. I don't really feel like I'm taking any damage whatsoever here with all of our new enchantments. So I'm just going to dump that into there. Also the Abyss Shurikens, they aren't new really, but if you want to see these, you can throw those. And we could make it unbreakable as well. This one I'm just going to dump in here, though. We'll let our infection build up slightly, and then I'll pop the anti-infection essence. But we basically have a little structure here. Oh, and I can grab those. That's great. Ignited stone pillars. Gives us an option for green fire. So maybe in the Undergarden or something like that. That would be cool. So let's go ahead and grab these. And we'll kind of wander around in this structure for a little bit. It's kind of wild the way that it spawns, so our Abyssasaur is back. We do have another scorpion spawner. Let's take that. And we'll just take some things here. We got an Amulet of Nosage. When it's in your inventory, resistance plus, it gives us resistance 1, fire resistance 1, water breathing 1, and haste 1. Okay. Powered melons, more Inkarith, more bottles of Somnium. We got another Amulet of Nosage, which has the same buffs. We got Weird Slime, bottle of Somnium, Rotten Flesh. We'll take it. Okay, now at this point, let's go ahead and pop our Anti-Infection Essence. And you can see it's going to get rid of our infection. Now, it's not going to get rid of it forever, but it does... it gives us anti-infection for 20 minutes. So, about every 20 minutes, we'll have to make another one. Unless we want to keep popping back home. But that's not too bad. And we should have plenty of Rotten Flesh. Phantom Lanterns, we're going to take those as well, and we can craft these with just Phantom Souls. Also, the stone can now be crafted. It does require stone, and you can't really get that from smelting, but that's what we're going to be silk touching a bit of the stone for, so we can make the bricks, because of course I'm going to need those to fix the Gaia altar. So we'll just grab up a bunch of those, toss those in, and we got ourselves a Soul Guard. Some bone boots. I've got to fix my armor stand, so I'm going to take all the armor that I can get my hands on just to cut down on what all I have to craft. Oh, I didn't realize I was starving. I don't think it matters because I don't think we can really die, but at least not from starving, you know? Ikora Stone. Actually, I meant to grab that enchanted golden apple. I'll grab that. But we're probably going to pop up here shortly. There's not a whole lot down here that we really need. A lot of it is really useful, but there's not a whole lot that we actually need from down in here. So, but the Amulet of Nosage is kind of nice. And there is a Roka up, so see if we can find it. Oh, I lost him. So we got some Cacus Versa. Also, you'll notice that all the plants did get names, like proper names, which is great. Wow, this dungeon went on forever. The spawning of it didn't really spawn underground like it was meant to, but that's okay. And there is this biome here, the Infected Lake. There's actually quite a few new biomes that are added. A Night Altar there. But quite a few new biomes that have been added. Oh, the sky whales. I've got a bunch of elders around here. I'm trying to see if I can find one of them. But if we could find one of these elders and kill it, we could actually go ahead and spawn and kill the first boss. I think because that one's like all kinds of weird and layered on top of each other. But Blue Forest, a little bit hard to find an elder though, due to the dense vegetation here. So I don't know. Seems like it's raining like all the time. Now it should be noted that you're not going to be like hunting down manuscript pages anymore, like we were, in the previous version, which is great. There are some drawbacks. Like for example, I've got a plan. We're going to have to test it here shortly. But the normal like ending dimensions are gone. But I do have a plan for our Gaia arena, which if it works, we're going to have to, like I said, we're going to have to test it because I'm not 100% sure. But if it does work, there's an elder, then we'll be able to set up our Gaia arena and it'll be kind of the same way it used to be, but we'll just have to see if it works. So we killed him and we got an Elder Eye. Now, like the previous version, there's a lot of different mining. We saw a lot of different gems and stuff when we were down underground. A lot of those can make armor. We're not going to be going over all the different armors and stuff in this video, but we're just going to be kind of going over the progression of the mod because it's a lot different than it used to be. But you're not going to be looking for manuscript pages. You're also not going to be fighting the Roka and Nosage like we did before. Go ahead and kill another one of these. We take like no damage whatsoever. I'm not going to worry about that other elder, and I'm not for sure if the Eye of the Abyss is not used for anything. I'm not sure if there's going to be anything from this mod that's used to make the ATM stars. But let's go ahead and summon the final boss. I think it's the final boss, right? I think Cyanide's just like a side boss. And Nightblade is the final boss, I believe, is the layout to that. And let's go ahead and craft ourselves an Eye of the Abyss. In order to get this, you're going to have to kill a Roka, a Crystal Guardian, and an Elder, as well as get Gas Tears and Eyes of Ender, which aren't too bad for us, but I do need to kill another Crystal Golem, and we could technically summon him again. And I think I've got enough soul. Yeah, I've got 9 soul hearts. Let's take these. But there's my Crystal Golem. And we do have a Roka here, too. I guess I could use this. Does more damage, but I like my Scythe a bit more. Boom. And we got another Crystal Hand. And we got a Brainwalker here. I'll go ahead and kill that. Purple Shroom Lights here. We'll probably be using a bit of these for building. Because it gives us a purple Shroom Light instead of the orange, the normal orange one. But here is a Night Altar. One of these little structures. Let me go ahead and remove that and get that out of the way. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our soul hearts, and what we do is we right click and it's going to make the ignited pillars like we saw underground. And we're going to be using these soul hearts for decoration as well. But we need to ignite all of the pillars around here. So a total of 8 soul hearts. And then just right click this with our Eye of the Abyss, and it's going to spawn Nightblade. Which is kind of the final boss. He actually does deal some pretty significant damage. 512 health. And he teleports. Not really a big deal to us, because if he hits us, we're not going to take that much damage. Where are you at, Nightblade? There he is. No, that's a zombie. Never mind. There we go. And you can see he's going to teleport us around kind of obnoxiously. But if I could find him... Oh, he got a Roka for us. Cool. Alright. So we kind of want to run at him and damage him down. Luckily we have ranged attack. Let me turn the, for right now, let me turn the master volume up, because there is some kind of cool music that plays when you're fighting Nightblade. It's strangely lower than that really loud thing that was going on before. But there we go. We killed him, and we got ourselves our Sword of the Abyss. Also got a Roka horn during that. And a bunch of other stuff. Iron Legs of Latent Magic. What do you want? Uma the Wimpy. Yeah, I don't even feel his attacks anymore. And for being a boss, that's actually saying a lot, because those bosses actually deal a lot of damage normally. Or, you know, they used to, I should say. But also worth noting, the whole NPC system and stuff is gone now. While we're here, I'm going to drop a Waystone. Just so that we can easily, because if I don't want to have to rely on the portal if we can avoid it. So let's set this up as Abyss. And we'll eat that in just a moment. And we're going to get a bit more into some Somnium stuff here shortly. I would like to find one of the dinosaurs, though, if we can. Abyssasaur. Oh my gosh. Raptors for days all of a sudden here. Here we go. There's our Abyssasaur. He's going to give us kind of a nausea. Rah! But there we go. We killed our very first Abyssasaur. He dropped a miniature yellow heart. That's it. So not that crazy, but I just wanted to show him off. Little T-Rex guy. Okay, so at this point, there is one other boss. I don't know that it's been fully implemented yet, which is the cyanide. And I'm not for sure how to spawn that. Okay, now at this point, let's take a look at the rings. Regeneration, teleportation, eagle, which could be good for us, but I don't know how much we'd actually use it. Let's fly all near entities upwards. Speed buff, turns you into a ghost. Stop time, which is actually pretty good. Ultra protection, I think we've already got that. The stop time could be good. The only thing, I don't really need any more combat buffs right now. Maybe once we get into Ice and Fire. Blaze Fireballs, some Black Magic, Elytra Flight, Weakness, Firestorm, Gravity Manipulation, a Home Ring that sends you back home, Pocket Dimension. That could be kind of useful. Seekers that help you fight. That's like a growth ring that does a 3x3. Ring of Flight could be good also. Fangs. I tell you what, I think we're going to... Let's try to make the Ring of Flight. It's going to be 4 Elytras and 4 Ender Crystals. Plus a Ring of Slide. Which Ring of Slide is Ender Crystals and Elytras also. Is there an easy way? Dragon Scales. Okay. Do I have Dragon Scales from Quark? No. See, I don't even have an Elytra yet. Well, let's port back home for right now. Let's go ahead, gain access to one last dimension. Let's make our Key of Ice, and let's just step through to here. And we'll go ahead and set up a portal in this dimension for the Ice dimension. If you recall, we had been there in the last go-around with Abyssal Craft, so we'll go ahead and step into that and go ahead and pop up. Climb on up out of here. So this is the Ice dimension. Just quickly pop in here. Not too much has changed here. You can still hunt down the Ice Knights for their stuff within this dimension. So, oh, we got a Seeker Spawn Egg. Seeker Charm Fragment, and we got a Night Shard. I'm going to go ahead and set up a Waystone in this dimension as well. And we'll just say Ice Stem. Alright, but at this point, what we're going to do, let's go ahead, let me make one more of these in case we end up needing it. We've got plenty of rotten flesh at this point. And let's grab a ring. There's also a Ring of the Ender Chest and Ring of Electro. Electrifies enemies near you. And I think that's all the rings. Oh, Ring of Spectral. Out-of-body experience. Yeah, I mean, I've got to get a bunch of Elytra, like 8 Elytras for the flight ring. But that might be something that we work towards. But I want to try a pocket box. It's going to be 4 Ender Chests and 4 Vit Powder. And for the Vit Powder, it's Life Stones, which are Life Nuggets, around stone. Okay, well in that case, how much Vitae... I may have to go farm up just a little bit here. Yeah, because I've only got 5 Vitae Dust. Oh, it also should be noted that the Abyss Beginnings is in this version now, like by default, so... those overworld biomes and stuff that we've still been looking for, they do still exist. And they're just in the mod by default instead of needing an add-on for that. Philosophy, that's what we're looking for. We're going to get a bunch of this Philosophy dust. It looks like plains biomes will be where we want to go for that. Of course, lots of plants to gather in this biome. Here we go. This is what we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to convert a lot of this into life nuggets. We're just going to go ahead and convert all of it for right now. And then we're going to convert these into life stones. And then these life stones, then we can make the Ring of Regen, or we can make the Vit powder. 4 of them for Vit powder. I'm probably just going to warp home to get rid of my infection this time. And that's because we're not going to be consistently spending a whole lot of time, and I don't want to pop a potion because I'm not going to be in the Abyss dimension for too much longer before we pop into the overworld for a stretch. So I'm probably just going to warp home. There we go. We got our 16 life stones. Alright, now at this point we can go ahead and make ourselves one of the Abyss Mortar and Pestles. So let's grab that. We'll just set it here with our Abyss stuff for right now. And then we can take this with our 4 life stones, and we're going to get 4 Vit powder. 16 life stones in total. And then we can use this. This is all it's used to make is the Ring of Pocket Box, which it doesn't turn into anything or nothing. Now at this point we're going to need to get ourselves an Arcane Workbench. So what are we missing for that? Blaru planks. Has to be Blaru planks. And we're going to have to pop in. We can make the Abyss planks through the alchemy table. Blue forest. Here we go. And there's Blaru. Yep. Then we can get our Arcane Workbench. And this is kind of like a big sort of crafting table for this mod. And we're going to need to get ourselves 4 ender chests. They're going to go here. We're going to need the Vit powder, and then we're going to need the ring. Now the ring is just the basic ring. Let me actually hold on to this because I can pull up the recipe real easy. We've got Loran energy, but to make Loran ingots, it's just a bunch of Lorans for this. Now there's a couple of ways that we could go about getting them. Honestly, probably right now, since we do need some, just heading into the Abyss radio dimension. And while we're here, let's grab a waystone. And I'm going to drop this waystone down. We're going to say radio dim for that, because we're going to test something related to that in just a moment. Now this dimension will eventually teleport you out, but you've got a bit of time to get Lorans first. But I want to see if the waystone can bypass teleporting us out. Because if so, then we can still build in this dimension. If not, we're not going to be able to, because it'll warp us out, you know, like while we're fighting the Gaia or something, and we don't want that, so. And then let's go ahead and get ourselves a ring. We'll drop that into there. We're going to hit build. Oh, wait, and this. And we're going to hit build. And that's going to make us the Ring of Pocket Box. Now this is going to use 50% Somnium. Now by default, we're going to have to use potions to get that back, but we're going to be fixing that. We're going to do a little bit of work with Somnium today as well. Now if we right click this, you have to be in the overworld. Okay. I just want to see, I don't know what the pocket dimension looks like, and if it looks really cool and if it's pretty big, that would be kind of nice to maybe do a little bit of building in, but it might just be something more of like a room size. You know, there's been a lot of mods in the past that add pocket dimensions, but generally they're pretty small. So there's not a whole lot of use for them. But I feel like a decent sized pocket dimension would be actually kind of useful. But there's also the Ring of Flight, which I'm really curious about. And I'm debating if I want to go farm Elytras for that, because it might be kind of cool. Of course, we'll have to be in the overworld to enter this. But we could always set up a waystone, possibly. But let's go ahead and right-click that. And this is the pocket dimension. We've got a void block here. Now, it might be possible... This is the unknown. It might actually be possible to get out of here, though. Let's set up a waystone. Waystone in here. We're going to say pocket dim. But if this is like the the Ash dimension, and if we can get out of here, it could be really, really good. Alright, we're going to be splitting off the Abyss mod into 2 parts just due to length, because there is a bit there, and there was some other stuff kind of related to the Abyss, but not necessarily in the Abyss. Come next episode that I wanted to do, and the footage was going to be too long to try to squeeze it all into one episode, you know? So we are going to be splitting this off into 2 parts. Now, I will say, just as a heads up, I will be doing a tutorial for the Abyss mod here pretty soon. So if you guys do have any questions, maybe that tutorial will answer anything. So there will be a tutorial, here fairly soon covering the mod as well. So I do want to give you guys kind of an up-to-date tutorial for the mod if you guys do have any questions regarding that. So just a heads up on that. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.